An entitled teacher tried to humiliate me in front of my class. She didn't realize my mom was the one auditing her. This happened my senior year of high school. And to this day, it's still the most surreal chain of events I've ever witnessed. Our English teacher, Miss Carter, had a reputation. She was one of those teachers who thought authority equals respect. Constant sarcasm, public call-outs, power trips over minor stuff. Favorites got away with everything. Everyone else got embarrassed. She especially hated quiet students. I was quiet. One day, we had to turn in a major essay worth 30% of our grade. I submitted mine on time, through the school portal, exactly as instructed. A week later, grades come back. I got a 0. Confused, I stayed after class to ask her about it. She doesn't even look up from her desk and says, "You didn't turn it in." I tell her I did. I even offered to pull up the submission timestamp. She sighs loudly and says, "I'm not arguing with you. Take responsibility." Then, and this is the part everyone remembers, she says loudly enough for half the class to hear, "If you put half as much effort into your work as you do making excuses, you wouldn't be failing." The class goes silent. I just nodded and sat down, absolutely mortified. That night, I told my mom. She didn't get angry. She got quiet. Important context. My mom works for the district. Specifically, she helps conduct classroom audits and compliance reviews when complaints or irregularities come up. She asks me one question. "Did she put that in writing?" I said no. She smiled and said, "Okay." The next week, Ms. Carter announces we're having a surprise observation. She's suddenly sweet, overly polite, calling on students she usually ignores, complimenting work she'd normally tear apart. A woman I'd never seen before sits in the back, taking notes. That woman is my mom. Ms. Carter spends the entire class putting on a performance. At the end, she asks students for volunteers to read their essays aloud. She calls on me. I freeze. She says, "Let's see what a proper submission looks like." I stand up, pull up my essay, and say, "Sure, this is the essay you said I didn't turn in. One project the screen. Submission timestamp. Confirmation email. Grade still marked 0. The auditor asks, "Why was this graded as missing?" Ms. Carter turns red. She starts stammering about system errors and student responsibility. Then the auditor asks, "Can you explain why multiple students have similar submission discrepancies?" Because apparently, I wasn't the only one. Class ends early. Ms. Carter is pulled into a private meeting. The next day, grades are updated. Not only did I get my full score, several students' grades were corrected too. A week later, Ms. Carter is gone. Official email says she's on administrative leave. A month later, we get a long-term substitute. Rumor confirmed later. She had been singling out students, failing assignments that were submitted, making degrading comments, and falsifying records to cover it up. The audit uncovered everything. Before the semester ended, my mom asked if I wanted to switch classes. I said no. I wanted to finish the year knowing the quiet kid didn't lose. Edit. For people asking, no, I didn't tell her who my mom was. I didn't have to. Edit 2. Yes, this was documented. Yes, other parents were involved. No, this was not her first complaint. Edit 3. To the people saying teachers are underpaid. Agreed. That doesn't excuse humiliation or abuse.